I'm not even crawling. The knees are long gone.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, the winds are gone. They dropped off, and we have a very nice, quiet, calm night across the tri-state area from 52 at Poughkeepsie and Montgomery. Monticello, the cooler spot at 46, but just about everybody sitting in the upper 40s to middle 50s with 57 right in town, 54 at Andover and Belmar at 52. Outside right now at the park, it's 57. 47% nice and dry relative humidity. A northwest wind still kicking up a little bit at 17 miles an hour and responsible for keeping temperatures rather uniform all over the place. In the meantime, on the satellite radar composite, not too much happening. We have still some patchy clouds. That's also helping to hold the temperatures. A few showers of rain have been going on in upstate New York, but all of that is staying there as low pressure goes by to the north. And now we set up for what's coming. And you can see 80s today from Kentucky back over from Lexington to St. Louis and points south. Some of that warmer air is destined to get up here. We should get into the 60s tomorrow again and then make a run for a very mild day on Tuesday. I'll have the forecast and more. And Joe Stradamus may appear later on with a little bit on the upcoming winter. That's straight ahead.
Joe Stradamus. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah,
we have actually had a good hurricane season this
relatively
year, right?
speaking, there have been no major hurricanes hitting the United States. There was the one that went through Bermuda last week, Gonzalo, and that wound up affecting Europe. But here for us,
we've been lucky.
Yeah, and what happens is when you get a big storm like Sandy, you feel very vulnerable. You suddenly think every hurricane is going to hit you, but time tries to slowly ease that, and this has been a relatively inactive season, and we only have a few weeks left in it anyway, so now we can start focusing on the next season, which for us is probably nor'easter season. We already had one last week, but none today. And we're looking good. Today's highs from the double nickels at Newburgh to mostly low 60s. It got to 65 at Somerville. The city got to 63. Islip to 62. And 63 where we were at the high at the park. The normal 61, so a little bit above normal, as was the low from 47, which is the average. We were at 53. So we've had a month that's been trending pretty much above normal here. 78 and 30, the records, and a trace of precipitation left over from a sprinkle that went by at some point or another last night. Meantime, temperatures now 57 in town, 53 at Islip, Bridgeport's at 52. So it's pretty much low to mid 50s. Very common with very common in terms of the temperatures because of the fact that we've got enough of a wind to mix the air up, and we still have some patchy clouds and even a couple of sprinkles showing up on the radar. Some of those may be false returns, but for the most part, it is dry. And as we widen out, not too far to the south of us, skies are clear across most of central and southern New Jersey, all the way down to the southwest and the Ohio Valley. That air is coming here. The storm system to the north starts to move to the northeast, and that's going to allow some of that dry air in here. And it's warm air, too. So back into the 60s tomorrow with a few clouds. Tuesday, very warm, middle 70s. Then the next cold front arrives, which starts the process for what could be a big change for the weekend. We'll talk about that and so much more. You'll be amazed. Tidy.
I hope to be amazed. Thank you, Joe. Till next week, Joe.
Setting up for another stretch of Monday through Friday, and we're going to take a look at what looks like a quiet week ahead. Maybe a couple of showers in the middle, and we'll let you know about whether there's a threat for any storms for next weekend. And we're going to Siberia. That's right, after this. Yeah, and most of this week, Heidi, looks to be fairly tranquil. We're going to have a change around midweek and then a big change going into next weekend because I think it'll be followed by the coldest weather of the season so far. It might mean for a very cold marathon Sunday, next Sunday, and we may see at least most of the area may wind up seeing a widespread freeze. But that's down the road to look at for the week. Meantime, we're warm tonight, except for the 48 in Somerville and Toms River. Everybody is sitting pretty much in the low to mid 50s. And the park right now at 57, 47% humidity, nice and dry, still kicking up a northwest wind at about 17 miles an hour. And we'll take another satellite radar check. A few false echoes are showing up here, but there are some sprinkles and some rain showers up to the north in the Hudson Valley. But you notice this storm system rotating away is starting to pull out to the northeast, and that's going to allow some relatively mild air to come in tomorrow, and warm air is going to be coming in on Tuesday. We still have the next cold front getting ready, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't look all that impressive. So look for tomorrow. High pressure overhead should be a sunny, seasonal day. Temperatures up into the low and mid 60s. And then Tuesday, with a west to southwest wind developing, temperatures in Kentucky, Tennessee, parts of Missouri in the 70s and 80s. That air gets here. The 80s won't get here, but mid-70s will. And then this cold front moves eastward with some showers, but it looks to me like the air is relatively dry around us, so there's not much for this to work on. We're probably going to see that shower activity minimize. Okay, that was Joe Stradamus' first map that was showing you snow in Eurasia, Siberia, okay? The snow cover in the last 10 days or so has exploded over this area. What does that mean for us? Well, there is a correlation about 90% of the time when the snow cover here in the month of October is huge and it's advancing at a rapid rate. It usually sets up for a cold and snowy winter in the Northeast. This has been going on. This happened last year, and it was a tip-off that we were going to have a pretty interesting winter. This snow cover has been advancing at a record rate, at its fastest rate at any time in the last 15 years, looking at the data. So there are a lot of indicators that we look at for the long term. This one is telling us that we're going to have a cold and snowy winter. And I have more on that. You can go to my Facebook page and like it. Meteorologist Joe Cioffis. Heidi likes and unlikes my page routinely just to make me feel better when she likes it again. And, oh yeah, where did this come from? I was salmon fishing, first time in upstate New York with a bunch of buddies. That's a 30-pound king salmon. Was amazing. And a lot of fun.
I bet.
And not very
Stop
pretty
showing
either.
off.
Mostly clear tonight, diminishing winds. Temperatures, some cold spots down in the upper 30s, but most lows in the mid-40s. Sunny, nice day tomorrow. Low to mid-60s. Normal highs about 61, so we'll get there. Here's your 7-day forecast. Maybe a shower Tuesday night. And then the big change for next weekend where we won't even be getting out of the 40s for highs Saturday and Sunday. Heidi. Fishing trip for 7 days.
Oh, we saw that picture, yes.
And
Keep
I figured
bragging.
this would make, yeah, because it was a lot of fun. And can't wait to go again.
What else that has to do with salmon fishing? I don't understand.
Well, because you're outdoors, I'm fishing
Oh,
in the
I see
river,
you're
you know,
outdoors. Okay.
roughing it.
Roughing it.
There you
Okay.
go. There's your day planner
Yes.
for tomorrow. Not too rough with temperatures in the low 60s and sunny skies. And there's your 7-day forecast. Halloween on Friday, where I'm never home for. And it starts to really chill down next week. It's going to be cold.
Okay, the marathon too.
Yes, for the marathon,
Yes.
cold and maybe even windy.
All right, thanks, Joe.